إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتون إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد فإن الحمد لله إن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير حج محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر أمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. يا أيها الذين آمنوا يقول الله عز وجل في القرآن الكريم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم اعلموا أن الله شديد العقاب وأن الله غفور رحيم. Brothers and sisters, we praise Allah the Almighty. We believe in Him, we trust in Him, we bear witness that nothing deserves to be worshipped except Allah, and we bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam is Allah's messenger and His servant. We ask Allah to bless His messenger Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam and his companions and his family, all of them. Ameen. Brothers and sisters, I make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He bless me today to articulate on my tongue what's in my heart. I usually try to keep within the time that the members of any masjid ask me to speak. They say, Imam, speak 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I try to do that. And I'm going to try to finish today's khutbah in the time that you used to have it. But if I go past a minute or two, please forgive me. I'm letting you know now that Allahu Alam what time I finish. I know you want me to finish, but Allahu Alam. Whenever I used to go to Washington, D.C. and speak at any program, there were a group of young Muslim men who used to come to my program, and after they would take me to a Muslim restaurant and I would hang out with them for hours to be with them, the youth, the shabab. One of them, young man, maybe 20, 21, 22 years old, moved from Washington, D.C. to California, and he came to New York to visit me recently. He said, Imam Siraj, I have to tell you the truth. He said, I hate going to Jummah prayer. I hate it. I said, why? He said, Imam, because when I go to Jummah prayer, it's not relevant to me. And I spoke to him, alhamdulillah, he called me recently. He said, Imam, Allah blessed him to go for Hajj or Umrah. And he came back with a different attitude. The reason I say that is that when you come here, this is what Allah give us, Yawm al-Jum'ah, then you come here, you have to get something. So I pray Allah that everyone here will get something. Allahumma inni a'udhu min ilmin la yanfa'u. The Prophet said, I seek refuge with Allah from knowledge that doesn't benefit. So I pray that you're going to get some beneficial knowledge. I must admit to you that what I'm going to say, the first part of what I'm going to say, is going to scare a lot of you. And I'm doing that on purpose. I'm doing it because Allah said it. And what I believe that I'm going to do today, despite what you may think, I think it will be beneficial. I'm going to scare you on purpose. Because Allah wants us to be scared, and I'm clear about that. And this is why you read in the Quran many places where Allah says, don't fear people, but fear me. So He wants us to be afraid of Him. And I know some of you may find that difficult to believe, but He wants us to be scared, and no one was more scared of Allah than the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. Don't get mixed up, there's two words. Inna aqakum wa alamakum billah ana. The Prophet said, some people translate it, I fear Allah more than any of you. But here it means I'm more God conscious than any of you. Use the word taqwa. But when he wants to use the word, Allah wants to use the word scared, is khashiyah or khawf. So both of them. In fact, if you ask a Christian, I used to be a Christian, they will tell you that in the Bible it says that the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. So you have to be afraid of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, before I do, I wanted to tell you something about Allah. Allah is unique, and I am saying that He's indescribable. Laysa kamithlihi shay. There's nothing like in Him. And I'll give you an idea. One day I'm sitting in my masjid and I'm reading this ayat from the Quran. وَلَا تَسْقُطُوا مِنْ وَرَقَ إِلَّا يَعْلَمُهَا. And it says, translating, not a leaf falls except Allah knows. What? Now I thought about that, right? So now I'm walking out my masjid, and as I'm walking down the street, a long block, I'm going to get my newspapers, and I'm saying, مَنْ تَسْقُطُوا مِنْ وَرَقَ إِلَّا يَعْلَمُهَا. And not a leaf falls except Allah knows it. And I look on the ground, and I see thousands of leaves on the floor. I said, are you telling me Allah knows every leaf that falls? Then I did some research. How many trees are there on this earth? According to the scientists, they agree there are about 3 trillion trees. Wait a minute. Allah knows every leaf that falls? A skeptic will say, well, you can't verify that. How you prove it? For us, it's faith. If Allah say it, we believe it. The other question is, so that's trivial. Allah knows every leaf, so what? Let me tell you the significance of that. That means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows everything, nothing escapes Him. If 7 billion people right now made the dua to Allah, He hear every one of them. If 7 billion people prayed right now to Allah and spoke to Allah, Allah would hear every one of them. You have no idea about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and who He is. This is why one minister, I'm listening to him, he says, he was on television, he said, well, if I were God, I would have done, no. If you were God, you'd have done exactly what God did, because that's who Allah is. Now, let me take a minute and tell you about the scary part. Too often, imams, rabbis, ministers, they ignore the part in the Quran and the Torah and the Bible where it talks about Allah's punishment. Mistake. There's some churches, masjids, don't mention it at all. But yet it's real. You know the Prophet ﷺ, you know Jibril taught him so many lessons. He asked Jibril once, he says, why is it that I have never seen Mikael is one of the angels. How come I have never seen Mikael smile? Now that means angels must smile, but not Mikael. He said, I've never seen him smile. You know what Jibril said? He said that since Allah created the hellfire, Mikael never smiled again, because the hellfire is real. إِعْلَمُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ شَدِيدُ الْعِقَابِ. You better know that Allah is strong in punishment. Let me give you an example, and I'm going to give you a small example, maybe 2 or 3 minutes. I want to scare you. I want you to get nervous. I want to scare you. You believe as a Muslim, Yawm al-Qiyamah, the Day of Judgment. What is this all for? This life that Allah gave us, 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, 90 years. Why did Allah give us the life? Except to test us. Because there's going to be Yawm al-Qiyamah, there's going to be a day of judgment where Allah is going to judge us and everything we did. فَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرٍ يَرَهُ. Whoever does an atom's worth of good shall see it. Whoever does an atom worth of evil shall see it. We will be judged by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Before I even talk about the hellfire, let me take 1 minute to talk about the judgment day. We're going to be resurrected naked. That's the first thing that we know. And then, what you waiting for? You're waiting to be judged by Allah. How long will the judgment take? 50,000 years. Now I want you to think about, you go online and you get tired. It's a long line. I have to stand on the line for 15 minutes. I have to stand on the line for 20 minutes. You go to the airport, you got to stand on. Everybody trying to get onto the plane, and you're standing on the line, and you can't, you have no patience. But I want you to think about standing on line in the heat for 50,000 years. So bad is it. People nervous because they're about to be judged by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they're saying, okay, bring on the judgment, bring it on. Let me just take a step before that. I'm almost finished. I want to scare you just a little bit. I want to shake you up a little bit, because this is what you have to do. If he says, "I'lamu," you better know that Allah is strong in punishment. You better know it. Give an example. You agree. Kullu nafsin dha'iqatul maut. Everyone shall taste of death. We're going to die. Everybody knows that, right? When you get a chance, I want you to look this up, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say. Ana Malik, Aina mulukul ard. I am the king. Where are the kings of the earth? Aina mutakabiruna. Aina jabbaruna. Where are the arrogant ones? Where are the tyrants? Where are they? Let me ask you a question. This is Allah speaking, right? You heard this in hadith. But the question is, who is he speaking to? When Allah is saying that, Ana Malik, Ana mulukul ard, I am the king. Where are the kings of the earth? Who was Allah speaking to? You may be tempted to say that Allah is speaking to His creation. He's talking to the human beings. No. When the horn is blown and everything in the heavens and earth die, except whom Allah exempts. And the scholars of Islam say, whom Allah exempts are 12. The 8 angels that carry the throne of Allah, Angel Jibril, Angel Mikael, Malikul Maut, the angel of death, and the angel of the horn. Everything in creation is dead. Kullu nafsin dha'iqatul maut. And then Allah will ask the angel of death, who's left? He said the 8 angels that carry the throne. He said the angel of the horn, Mikael, Jibril, and myself. Allah will teach the angel of death how to take the life of the other angels, and they all are dead. And Allah asked the angel of death, who's left? He said, you and I. And then Allah will say, die. And everything in the universe is dead. Ana Malik, Ana mulukul ard, I am the king. Where are the kings of the earth? Everybody's dead. Nobody can hear him. Where are the arrogant ones? Where are they? Where are the tyrants? Where are they? And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will raise up the life again, and then will begin the judgment. Walhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I don't have to give you a long talk about the punishment in the hellfire. Fire that's 70 times more powerful than the fire that we have in this lifetime. I don't have to tell you about the hereafter when the hellfire, when people want something to drink, they'll be drinking boiling water. I don't have to tell you about that. And all of the horrible things in the hellfire. I don't want to even take time to talk to you today about that. But you think about it, and Allah mentioned in Quran, Khalidina fiha abada. Some of them in the hellfire forever. That's scary. So, Let's give the other side. وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. And know that Allah is forgiving and merciful. Alhamdulillah, the Prophet ﷺ said, لما خلق الله الخلق كتب في كتاب فهو عنده فوق العرش إن رحمتي تغلب غضبي. When Allah created the heavens and the earth, He wrote in His book, with Him on the throne, my mercy shall overcome my wrath. Alhamdulillah for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His forgiving us. I'm going to paint you a picture. There's so much about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I want to paint you this picture. Do you know that our country, America, is the third most populated nation in the world? We have about 320 million people. China, number 1,300,000,000. India, number 2, 1,200,000,000 and something million. United States is third. We represent 5% of the total population of the earth. Americans represent 5%. But if you take all those in the prisons of America, put them together, those in prison represent 25% of the total prison population of the world. Put another way, if all the prisoners of the United States were put together and were a state of the Union, one of the 50 states, it would be the 14th most populated state in America. Put another way, if all the prisoners of America were a country, there would be more people, more prisoners than 50 countries. I've never been to prison, but I know a lot of my friends have been. Some Muslims have been. You may never know them, like Malcolm X, Al-Hajj Malik Shabazz, in prison. I asked one of my brothers from prison, what is the protocol when people come out of prison? What's the protocol? He said to me that if you've been to prison, however long you've been there, even 20 years or 30 years, the day they let you out of prison, they give you $40 in cash and take you to the nearest bus stop to bus your way out of the prison. This is what they do when you come out of prison. Here's your $40. Get in the bus and get out of here. Can I give you a contrast? The Prophet ﷺ said, I know the last person, akhiru, the last person who come out of the hellfire and the last person who go into Jannah, I know that person. It will be a person who come out of the hellfire, walk once, crawl, burned by the fire, and they walk away from the hellfire, and then he turns around and says, looking at the hellfire, blessed be to Allah who saved me from you. And then a tree will be raised up in front of him, a beautiful tree. And he will say to Allah, oh Allah, bring me close to this tree that I may drink from its water. Remember, he's been in hell and had no water. That I may drink its water and stay in the shade. And Allah will say to this person coming out of the hellfire, the last person to come out of the hellfire, perhaps if I give you that, you ask for something else. And the man said, I promise I won't ask for anything else. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would forgive him because he would not have patience with something that he'll see something he can't have patience with. So he goes in the tree and he drinks from the water and he's in the shade. And then another tree, more beautiful than that tree, is raised in front of him. So Allah, just bring me near that tree. Allah will say, oh son of Adam, if I bring you to that tree, then maybe you ask for something else. He said, no, I won't ask for nothing else. And drink from the water and the shade. And then another tree, more beautiful than those trees, is raised in front of him. Oh Allah, just bring me to that tree. Allah said, oh son of Adam, perhaps if I give you that, you ask for something. No, I ain't gonna ask for nothing else. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts him in that tree, and then he hears the voice of the people of Jannah. So Allah, just let me into Jannah. Stop. You know who narrated this hadith? Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu. And when he came to the point, Ibn Mas'ud started laughing. Ha 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 ha. And then he said to the people, don't you want to know why I'm laughing? He said, yeah, why are you laughing? He said, because of the laughter of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And the Prophet is narrating the hadith, and then the Prophet start laughing. And the people say, Ya Rasulullah, why are you laughing? He said, because of the laughter of Rabbil Alameen. Allah has a sense of humor. Allah was playing with him. Hey, get it? Hey, you missed the point. In prison, they give you $40. Here, the last person in hell, personal escort from hell by Allah. You can't even imagine Allah's mercy. You can't. You see, Aisha radiallahu anha said in my conclusion, she said, كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يذكر الله على كل أحيانه. The Prophet remembered Allah in every circumstance. Have you heard that hadith? You've heard that. Prophet always remembered Allah, right? Everybody heard that. كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يذكر الله على كل أحيانه. Prophet remembered Allah in every circumstance. Let's see what Allah says in Quran. فَاذْكُرُونِي أذكركم. Remember me. Allah wants us to remember Him. Remember me, but Allah always gives you something. Whenever you do something, Allah will give you something greater than what you give Him. Remember me, I will remember you. If you remember Allah to yourself, Allah will remember you to Himself. If you mention Allah in a crowd of people, Allah will mention you in a crowd greater than you. Can you imagine Allah mentioning you by name to Jibreel, to Mikael, to the angels? Are you kidding me? If the Prophet remembered Allah in every circumstance, how much did Allah remember the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? You can't outdo Allah. He wants us to be better. Man la yarham la yurham. Whoever doesn't show mercy won't be shown mercy. But you can't be more merciful than Allah. Can I show you how merciful Allah is? The Prophet ﷺ said that Allah will say in Kitabul Iman, in Muslim Hadith, Allah will say on Yawm al-Qiyamah, Shafa'at Malaika, the angels have interceded, the prophets have interceded, and the believers have interceded. And none is left except Arhamur Rahimin, the most merciful. And then listen to this. I leave you with these words. Allah will take out of the hellfire a handful of people that have never done any good at all and put them in Jannah. You kidding me? You kidding me? How big is a handful of Allah? How many? 2 or 3 people? You think so? Arhamur Rahimin. Yes. I'lamu anna Allah shadidul iqab. Yes. Wa anna Allah ghafurur rahim. And all we have to do is make tawbah. I don't care what you did. I don't care how bad it is. Don't ever give up. You make tawbah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, asking for His forgiveness. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us, all of us. We ask Allah the Almighty to have mercy upon us. We ask Allah the Almighty to enter us into Jannah. We ask Allah the Almighty to forgive us our sins. We pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help those who are oppressed all over the world, to help those who are oppressed in Syria, help those in Iraq, and those in Palestine, and those in Yemen, and all over the earth. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أخطأنا. ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته الذين من قبلنا. ربنا لا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. والحمد لله رب العالمين. إقامة الصلاة.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Jazakallah Imam Siraj Wahad for that khutbah. Just a few announcements inshallah.